Announce officially the Christchurch Community Beat Team, which was recently announced by Commissioner Andrew Costa. I'd like to welcome our guests. We've got Assistant Commissioner Mike Johnson down from Police National Headquarters. He's Assistant Commissioner for Districts. And Associate Minister for Police, the Honourable Casey Costello, and also His Worship the Mayor, Phil Major, and Leanne Watson from Business Canterbury. Shortly I'm going to hand over to Assistant Commissioner Mike Johnson, and he'll talk us through the announcement today from a national level. So I'll just hand over to Mike now. Thank you, sir.
Kia ora, Lane. Morning everyone, and welcome along. Firstly, I'd just like to acknowledge our guests. Minister, welcome, and thank you for being with us today. Mayor, it's great to have you here, and we're just talking briefly about the linkages to police. And Leanne, welcome along, also critical part of the Christchurch and Canterbury community. I'm proud to be here today to announce and be part and present for the announcement of our new community beat team for Canterbury. It's made up of a maximum of 18 staff, both experienced staff, and you see some of them in the room with us today. So welcome in, team, and some of our graduates as we build the team to the numbers that we've committed to nationally, and Commissioner Costa mentioned earlier. I know the team hit the ground running and have had a lot of successful engagements in their first few weeks in the role. From proactively linking with the public, shopkeepers, and the visible presence of police out and about in our community, particularly in our high use areas, Central City, the malls, and other areas where our deployment information tells us that we should be for our community and to provide the best policing service that we can. I had the privilege of coming down last week and spending some time with the team, and it was really good to spend some time with Andrew and the team out and about last week. And I can positively comment that the way they were engaging with the community, as I've talked about all of the components, was I was really proud to be down here with the guys and what they were doing last week. I know security staff in the malls, the retailers, have told the team they are now happy and feel well supported with the change that we've been able to bring from a presence and from the work that the staff are doing out and about as part of this new team that's coming up. The difference you are making already is noticed, as I've commented on, and I really thank you for the work that you are doing out and about every day to make our community safer. I also want to recognise partners, and as I've mentioned, we see several of them in the room, but all of our partners in the community and the work and recognition that's going on to make the community safer, as is our commitment through our functions within policing. Together we can make a real difference for our communities in that feelings of safety as they move about either in their homes, in the public places, or in, as I said before, in the malls and the other high density areas that we really want to focus on through this initiative. We all know that people feeling safe and reassured when they are out and about is absolutely a focus that police hold dear, and it's something that we've just changed some settings on in relation to this new initiative. Community beat teams will provide a strong and more visible police presence, which we know deters crimes, violence, and antisocial behaviour. So people actually feel safer in the communities as they're out and about, as I mentioned. Our commitment to safety in our communities and our communities being safer is absolutely the reason we come to work every day. So with that, those few comments, just thank you for your time today. Thanks for the team that are here and the work you are doing today and will do in the future. It's much appreciated. I'd now invite Associate Minister for Police, Casey Costello, to come up and make a few comments. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Assistant Commissioner Mike Johnson, District Commander Tony Hill, Area Commander Lane Todd, and to demonstrate that this is really about community, Mayor Phil Major and Business Canterbury CEO Leanne Watson, but most importantly the Christchurch Metro staff, because this is really about you and not about politicians. I'm really delighted to be here today to officially recognise and celebrate the new Christchurch Community Beat Team. As you know, recently the Prime Minister and the Honourable Mark Mitchell welcomed the announcement of Operations Safer Streets and beat officers for the Auckland CBD, Christchurch and Wellington. And it's great to see the new team is now in action and that there is a continuing and growing commitment to core frontline policing functions. I hear already there's been some great wins since you started and it's having a real impact. It's a reality that the public and businesses want to see our police. It makes a real difference to making people feel safe and deterring antisocial and criminal conduct. It's a long time since I walked the beat, a long time, and I know technology's changed. I think our beat radio, it was only a line of sight from the police station. Other than that, it was just you were carrying a brick around and couldn't have any comms to anybody. Mind you, those were the days when I still had manual typewriters. But although technology has changed a lot since then, at its heart, it's still the same. It's about being seen, it's about building community connections and creating safe environments. The difference you can make to people feeling safe by being visible cannot be overstated. I'm sure you've noticed it already. People feel reassured when they see police, and stronger cooperative relationships are built when people can interact with police on a daily basis. They know you're there to protect them and prevent crime. Importantly, when you're in the community, they also know who you are. These community beat teams provide a reassuring presence for people who have been facing retail crime, violence and antisocial behaviour. They also reassure the public that our city centres are a safe place to be. This government has a strong agenda on law and order, and what the police do day in and day out is recognised and it is valued. Our commitment to deliver 500 additional police means that more officers like you will be deployed to where staff can best contribute to deliver on our law and order objectives. This will likely include more high visibility beat teams patrolling main streets, shopping malls and transport hubs. I really do genuinely commend you for the work you do every day in your community and applaud this career you've chosen. It's an admirable one. You can see by everyone here today that the work you do is appreciated by so many, and it will continue to grow the relationships within your community. So I thank you all for being here and look forward to seeing you around more. Thanks.
Thank you, and I'll just welcome the Mayor now to say a few words. Thank you.
Thanks, Blake. Tēnā koutou. I'd just like to start by acknowledging everyone who has already been acknowledged. It'll save a little time. Like you, I am very excited about this announcement. As a city, we really welcome more police on the streets. It's important that people feel safe in our city, and it's a really great initiative and will give real confidence to the security of businesses and the community. We appreciate the collaboration and commitment that's gone into this and to make it happen. I'm sure the Canterbury Police Community Beat Teams will be well received. So thank you to everyone that's been involved about getting this across the ground, getting it off the ground. It's a great to support this concept, and I'm looking forward to it succeeding. I'm not actually looking forward to it succeeding because it already is succeeding. So thank you very much for what you're doing. Great work. Thank you.
Thank you. And Leanne Watson. Thank you.
Joys of being last is I have to try and say something that hasn't already been said. So firstly, can I just acknowledge the work that the New Zealand Police does. We know that over the last few years it's been incredibly complex, and certainly our Business Canterbury members over the last year or so have really highlighted the need to have a greater, stronger police presence and more visibility. So we're really wrapped with the announcement today, and we're seeing this actually come to life, and it's something that we at Business Canterbury have been advocating for quite some time. So it's fantastic to see you all in action. It certainly creates a much stronger sense of safety, not only for our businesses to operate, for their staff to operate. We know this is not a problem that's unique to Christchurch. This is a problem that we see across New Zealand as a whole, but we're really, really pleased to see the announcement today. We're pleased that we've had some action on some of the things that we've been advocating for quite some time, and as we continue to see a stronger presence of our tourism market come back into Christchurch, we want to make sure that we welcome people back into the central city, into all of those areas that are really important to support our business community. So congratulations on the work that you've all done to get here today, and we're really grateful for the support. Thank you.
Thank you. So it's just an opportunity now for any questions that you may have for any of us here. I'll be going down shortly to talk more specifically about how the team's going to operate, but before we do that, there's an opportunity for any questions you might have.
Just wondering general question. What concerns are you aware of around antisocial behaviour or similar in Christchurch?
I guess the thing around that is that what we have noticed post-COVID is that there has been an increase of that, and we have been doing some initiatives, but obviously now this Community Beat Team is now operational. We see that this can be really positive to be able to have more positive impact on that. But we also work collaboratively with people like Council and the business community, retail community as well.
Perhaps could I just add a comment on there? Sort of to reinforce what Lane said, you know, last week when I was out, the way that our team, some of them are in the back of the room and will be embarrassed by this, which is quite good, but is the way they were engaging. They knew the people were out and about in the who were occupying the central city. They knew that they were focused. They were looking for opportunities to help those people in a range of ways, and we will obviously take enforcement action where we need to, but they're looking for other opportunities as well. So there's a range of services that our staff have access to, which includes via the council and via other agencies, and we're absolutely looking at how do we do that in the best way for the individual, and how do we kind of solve some of their issues to help them to make our community safer, as I mentioned before. Thank you.
And where will these teams be patrolling? Is there like a certain area they'll be based in?
Primarily they'll be based out of the Central City Police Station here, but we have a deployment plan which they've already commenced, and so they'll be going around obviously the Central City and also our major malls and retail areas across the city. So there's no sort of given area, but where you can expect to see them is around those main retail areas and the large malls.
What are the main issues facing the malls at the moment?
Okay. Look, the shoplifting is still a major issue for us in Christchurch, but also Auckland as well, still has significant retail crime. So that's one of the major issues we have with the malls. But what I can say is that we've been working quite closely with mall retailers, just in terms of how we can actually do some crime prevention. And as I said, the Community Beat Team is going to be able to ensure that we have a lot more presence, but also more reassurance presence as well.
There's just a bit of concern from the Phillipstown neighbourhood that their policing team was going to be moved to new Community Beat Teams and fears this will be made permanent. Do you guys have any comment on that, and just guarantee that won't be the case?
Well, we're obviously trialling one of the neighbourhood policing teams, bearing in mind we have two neighbourhood policing teams. So certainly the Phillipstown one at this stage is trialled as part of the Beat Team, and we also have the Community Central CLO team as well as part of that. So that's a trial. But what I would also say is that the work that team was working on has been divvied up between the existing neighbourhood policing team, and the Beat Team will pick up some of those projects as well. So people can still expect to see us in the area. In fact, you'll probably find that they'll see more of us in the area.
Just because I'm jumping in on that, the comment there, so Lane's absolutely talked about the local context, but if you think from a whole of policing perspective, and this is the challenge that we ask Tony and Lane and the leaders to undertake around the country, is actually where's the best use of our resource? What's the deployment information? What's the best use of the staff we have. We'd like to be everywhere. That's not the case. And in fact, we've got an extra 500 staff being added so that we can think about these things from a prioritised fashion so we make sure we're in the right place.
How many of those 500 are coming down here?
So there's been announcements around the Beat team here, and there's an extra 10 Beat staff, and there's announcements to come in relation to the larger figures by the Commissioner of Police in due course, so I can't make any comment on that.
So that 18 that we talked about before in the
Yep.
big team, that's made up of existing and fresh.
Yes, it is. It's
staff
absolute.
coming through. Is
Sorry.
there an additional 10 on top of that to make 28? Or is that not how that is?
So sorry, we're going to talk over each other in a way to try and answer your question. No, it's an extra 10 for the Beat team. We're going to, as Lane acknowledged before, roll in some staff, the experienced staff, and some of them you see in the room, who've actually got experience in these areas. But we absolutely reserve the right to think carefully about how we make this mix. But there is new staff from that 10, as I've said, that will come in as they become available.
And how many of them are locals, do we know, like who are from Christchurch originally? Because Phillipstown talks a lot about having trust and that trust being built, and when you're local you can build that a lot faster.
And I suppose that's one of the advantages of having the trial at the moment, which is their existing neighbourhood, one of the existing neighbourhood policing teams plus the central community team, is they have those relationships. So that's why it's been quite seamless the way we've set it up in terms of getting the relationships with the key people, and that's where the positive has come. But as the Assistant Commissioner said, we also want to be bringing fresh new constables into this environment as well. So we're going to have to make sure we've got that balance, which we're focused on doing that. I'm not sure if we quite got the question in relation to the number. So the number is 18, 8 existing, 10 additional from the 500 from the government.
If that's all the questions for now, we might wrap up this part. Oh, I just have one more. I'm wondering if I can ask a question on another matter. It's in relation to the government cutting the excise tax on heated tobacco products. We're wondering, is this the first time a government has ever lowered excise tax for tobacco?
For tobacco products, I think it is the first time, but it's part of the strategy around targeting those who are addicted smokers and to provide alternate products. So it is a trial for a period. We'll analyse whether there is opportunity. It's a less harmful solution. So we are looking at a range of options because we're now dealing with about 280,000 who are hardcore addicted smokers, and vaping doesn't work for everyone, so we're just looking at other options.
And has anyone from the tobacco industry talked to you about this move?
No.
Sorry, Anna, can we just leave it there? If you've got questions specific to the Minister's other portfolios, I think it would be best dealt with separately. Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a question specifically about police and stuff, if you've got time. Sorry. I just saw that boot camps are going to be trialled in Palmerston North. It's likely that it will be NZZF that's assisting with that. Will Burnham be the next place that a trial comes?
Not at this point. There's the initial trial. Beyond that, it's really going to be evaluated as to how successful the trial is. From there, those decisions will sit with Minister McKee and Minister Mitchell around the next steps on that one.
And Minister Mitchell also said that he wanted to change the legislation around boy races so that cars can be confiscated easier. At the moment, it's a 2-strike for a car confiscation. Would he be looking at a single strike?
Yeah, I can't comment because it doesn't sit within my delegation, but it's around having some consequences to that kind of behaviour and ensuring that we've got suitable responses to curb that significant high-risk antisocial behaviour.
Thanks, everyone. I think we'll wrap this part up now and head downstairs where there's an opportunity to talk to the big team.
Tony will take you back to
You're very welcome.
Thanks, mate. We got next week.